going on, everybody? It's Rick. It's been about a month since I've been down here. I have added a bunch of shredded cardboard down to this end. I'm going to hop into the half rain barrel European nightcrawler bin. I have some castings to kind of fluff, see how they're breaking down. Either today or the next check-in, I'll do a little harvest, I'm thinking. Definitely where the last feeding was is really depressed. And then start incorporating some of this fresh bedding. I was just in here, and I can put a little clip of what I kind of seen. Check out some of those smaller baby worms. And I've noticed a bunch of little cocoons. Check these out. A bunch of the Euros up on top, and then a few cocoons right on top. So that is always a nice little sight to see when you're checking in on your worm bin. This was in, I think, the peat moss that I got from Mimi's when I originally got the worms, but that's okay because that's going to be good for a little aeration. It ended up making it up to the top on the last time when I was rotating everything. So these top bits are pretty dry. So what I think I'm going to kind of do is move them back this way a little bit, and they can kind of get reprocessed. Well, the moisture's still kind of right because there's still worms in there. You know what? I'm kind of okay with how that's looking. So I gotta find a quick container. From when we went fishing. 36 ounces, 32 ounces is 2 pounds. So, oh gosh, there's one of them. But that's okay to go in the castings because if any bacteria, they can eat that up. Oh, don't want to take the worm. Wow. I hope it's coming through. There's a cocoon there, so I may, when I store these guys, I may start making some more European nightcrawlers. Okay, very happy with how that's looking now. Pieces of the cob from one of the last feedings. Okay, there's just a castings clod. Now we're getting pretty close to where I just fed. Well, just fed a month ago. And there's some fresh leaves, so I'll just, well, whole leaves, I guess I should say. So I'll leave that down there. The worms can work that over. And this was the last feeding area. I doubt to see any food scraps. what I am noticing. Bunch of little guys. I do continue to add the chicken crumbles that hopefully these European night crawlers aren't just turning small. Hopefully those are young guys that will continue to get large. Okay. Yep. So definitely have to be careful when you're using your bubble wrap, because the worms will get into it and I don't want to lose anybody. Here's what I went ahead and fed on the last feeding. I have some lettuce and an onion. And then last but not least, I'm going to give them a handful of the pulp from the juicer. And I'm going to get these guys back on there. Oh, I see that guy. And I do have some fresh bedding, shredded leaves for them. And I have some of my ground up eggshells. Okay, I'm going to quick incorporate that and pull it a little closer so I can get this next feeding happening. This is going to be a pretty large feeding. Kind of neat to see. I see some worms that are in that fresher bedding. So I have been adding some water to it. But I think everybody's going to kind of run on this one just a little bit. I have celery. I have an old, as you see, yellow cucumber that's been in the freezer. These seeds may be viable, so I may see some sprouts. Sometimes with freezing, it ends up kind of killing off the seed. Other seeds can survive in extreme cold, so this will be a little test to see what happens with that too. And I have some more corn cobs. I have some purple cabbage I actually got from the local farm. It was $2 for a huge head, and then I chopped it all up and made some fermented sauerkraut with it. And that was pretty good. It basically made a half-gallon container. And then, last but not least, my last bit of comfrey. That was in my one freezer. I do have another bag. So, try to add some of the castings to start getting those bacteria, get the bacteria and biology into that new feeding area. I have some ground up eggshells that I'm going to add on top. The ground up eggshells is a good grit source for the worms. When they squirm around and they take little bites, they actually use that to help digest as they wiggle around through the bin. Yeah, so hopefully the worms keep doing great, keep getting larger. As soon as I cover this up, I'm going to add my chicken crumbles. Hey, look, I think that's the first time my hand wasn't all covered in castings too. right over the top of that feeding area. As I've said, this has been the first large feeding in a month. However, typically about once a week I do come down and shake some chicken crumbles over the area, over that last feeding area. And then that does help to bring some of the worms up and give them some extra food. Okay, gonna cover these guys back up. Seeing if time permits, maybe next week I can try to bring the camera down and see what's going on in this area. So then you guys get another little update on how the half a rain barrel bin's looking with the European night crawlers. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments. Thanks for coming along, checking out the video. Everybody have a great day.